Hey there team, and welcome to Wendy's Silm study sessions. I'm not exactly sure what I want to call this, but we are going to be jumping in some Silmarillion Total War today. My plan right now is I kind of want to have a week of just blitzing through some Silmarillion, trying to kind of learn some stuff. I'll explain that a little bit more as we go on. But aim here, a little bit different from the normal fights. What I really want to do is learn some units here with these videos. So it's going to come a little bit differently. I'm going to be focusing a lot more on them during the fighting, a little bit less on the actual, say, battle tactics going on. I will be talking about the battle as a whole, but really the goal of these videos is for me to check out individual unit engagements, see performance of units in various sort of circumstances. So I've got some of my own fights, but primarily it's fights that have been uploaded to, or replays that have been uploaded to the Silmarillion Discord. 90% of them from my man Panthan over there, so yeah, a lot of appreciation there to him. So as I say, these are just going to be getting slammed out, I think probably over the course of a week, maybe a little bit more depending on how many I end up doing, and recorded over quite a short period of time, so probably a day, maybe 2 days. I'll just be doing nothing but Silm recordings. So I'd still very much appreciate anything that I'm pointing out, anything that I'm taking note of. If you know better than me, please pop it in the comments. But as I say, if you're more into the cinematic feel of battles or the real tactical plays, these videos maybe aren't going to be for you, because as I say, I'm going to be focusing very much on individual units, trying to work out what their shenanigans are. Reason for that, of course, is I have been out of the Silmarillion loop for about 2 years. This battle here is my first battle for quite some time, so I need to. A lot of units are unchanged. Well, not unchanged. A lot of units have just had some little changes since then, but there are a heck of a lot of brand new factions, like what I'm going up against today, Gondolin. I have no idea of. So I really want to see what their units are, see what they're all about. But anyway, yeah, so we'll jump into this. I'm playing as Angmar today. Reason for that is just because Angmar is a faction that I always had some good success with it in the past. And I know that they're very rigid, they've got some decent numbers and got some great armor. So I just felt, yeah, I can trust them. I know that as long as I keep my morale in check, I should be able to just weather any storm due to that armor value that most of the units have, and again, those numbers. And once again, if you know better than me, anything that I'm stating during these little discussions, please point it out. Please say, actually Ryan, or actually Wendy Pops, I'd prefer. Yeah, actually Wendy Pops, this unit does this. They aren't actually what you think they are. So yeah, because that's what these videos are all about. So got my little line of archers out front, thralls with arbalists in the middle, spear guard behind them, some of these, damn good quality spears, heavily armored spearmen. I've given them an armor upgrade today. Both units of spear guard there, again, just for that extra rigidity. I'm going to really rely on them to hold the line and buy me some time. Some legionnaires, again, armor upgraded, giving them those red capes that look kind of almost sort of dark Numenorian there, but of course they are the nasty orcs underneath that well-crafted armor. Halberdiers, again, armor upgrade. I just went all out with the armor upgrades for this fight, just to really rely on the fact that I'm going to be able to keep them safe with that. The Ravagers, again, armor upgraded, just so that I don't have to worry about them. Tormentors of the Iron Crown, I think one of the few units that I don't actually have armor upgraded, because I don't think you can. I think they start with 11 armor, which is high. Got my Troll Guard, 2 units of Troll Guard there. Armor upgraded once again, so they are absolute monsters, absolute tanks there. Can take a hell of a beating. I've not taken like the Balrogs, I've not taken any strange units, again just because this was my first fight. I needed to make sure that I wasn't doing anything wild. Like, let's be pretty simple, pretty careful. And then behind them, the Tormentors of the Iron Crown again. And my Balrogs. Got my general on with the Balrogs somewhere, but doing my normal thing. Nice closed in formation. I say this is my first fight against Gondolin. I've watched Umad's content. I've watched as much as I sort of can online, but you really have to get a feel for some of these things, and you can only really do that by playing. So he's got his guardsmen of the harp, and behind them these armorers of the hammer. And as I say, I've got very little idea of what these guys are capable of. From my first look, I believed, you know, yep, armorers of the hammer, I'm assuming immense armor value, AP, and then the guardsmen of the harp there, very Irish looking, yeah, pretty damn solid. So my general grasp with Gondolin is, of course, it's built on the various houses that they have, and so each unit is going to be quite specialized, a bit versatile, but generally pretty damn high quality forces. And then these Knights of the Golden Flower behind them, again, I was not sure if these guys were lancers or melee cavalry. I assumed maybe they were a hybrid, a bit of a knight unit with those heavy lances. Got the Champions of the Fountain. First thing I saw with them was like, right, okay, if I'm going to put my javelins, if I'm going to put my crossbow fire somewhere, I'm hoping to be those guys, just because they are unshielded and nicely armored. And then Axemen of the Pillar in the back there, mixed in amongst, actually, those more Guardsmen of the Harp. And then more Knights of the Golden Flower. Over here, some Armorers, Guardsmen of the Harp. Spearmen of the Swallow, I think. I'll check in a sec. And then Axemen of the Pillar again. So, you can see my enemies deployed over this sort of very long period very long line. I'm much more of a tightly packed blob. So as I say, for now we will focus on the tactics, but as soon as we get a clash, as I say, I'm really going to be focusing on what's going on. So you're going to probably hear music's a little bit quieter in this, because I'm going for much more of a this video is for my benefit. I'm studying these the videos over the course of so I might put something different in the title, just so you're aware, because if I end up doing more of a cinematic Silmarillion fight, then I'll want it to come across in a much more different manner than this. So yeah, but coming forward there, I'm seeing that there was this little swarm off on the side there, and I was like, okay, well let's sledgehammer that. So I just gathered everything I had, shunted it over. But this is really, you know, Panthan pulls, again, I'm not focusing on tactics too much here, but I was incredibly impressed with what Panthan was able to do to me during this fight, so I might miss bits of it. So Thralls of Angband, I know that these guys are not great quality archers. I know that they're terrible in melee. I brought them to soak up enemy fire, but with this sort of situation, I've got shots on you as you're pulling back. I'm going to be unloading on you. I don't think I was really picking targets, but if I was kind of wanting those Spearmen of the Swallow. They looked kind of lightly armored for me, especially if I could shoot them in the back. So you can see again, he's sort of folding around me, getting a little bit nervous about that, because he's pulled this unit away, well, this little force, this little contingent away from me. Got my Wolf Riders of Angband. So this is one of the first moments. Now, I just didn't see those Knights of the Golden Flower. I wouldn't have done this had I seen them. Coming for a charge, 118. Now, I know that wasn't a great charge. I should have had them spread out. But, okay, so I didn't actually get anybody there with that charge. I thought I would still maybe slam them. Now, I knew they were spearmen. Of course, it says it in their title. I didn't just think they were archers. But I kind of hoped I could get in there, slam them before they got their spears out and get out. But you can see, yeah, so he has rinsed me there. So obviously, they've got a decent little charge, but they do take out those swords after. Ravagers, again, this is just like a bit of a panic placement. I knew I needed something set up here. And I didn't actually have any spears standing by. My spears were all the way up there, and I really should have brought one back. See, I get my halberdiers over here, doing a little counter charge. This is a nice little mess he's going to do on my Ravagers, but I was hoping if I keep them trapped in, get my Wolf Riders, I can deal a little bit of damage. So Wolf Riders, we don't have an anti-cavalry bonus on them. They do scare horses, but they don't have an anti-cavalry bonus. And they've got a charge bonus of 2. So I'm assuming that this is what they're meant for. They are meant to like catch cavalry. They're just not going to rinse them down super quick. But that's all I really need. You know, I'm not trying to kill the enemy's cavalry with my own. I'm trying to just catch him. And you can see again, he's sort of getting all the way around me. I'm opening up with my thralls, but This is just fire at will actions going on here. So you've seen the guardsmen of the harp. I'm assuming they're going to be shrugging that damage off pretty nicely, even if I'm getting it from their right side, or, you know, from their back, hopefully. They're still going to be resistant to that. But it's a pretty big unit size there, at about over 160 at the start, I believe. So this is where the main fighting is happening right now, though. Yeah, so I got my halberds there, but then I realised, you know, he's got his spearmen, he's got his archers. Right now they seem to be going for my wolf riders, and I'm getting shots into the right side there, so I need to get them out of there. And I didn't really want to get my halberds shot up, so I'm replacing them with some legionnaires. Again, no spears. Would have loved to have gotten a Wretches of Angband there or something like that, just to keep that cavalry in check. Not Wretches of Angband. Yeah, is that what they're called? Yeah, I think the Wretches are the spears and the Thralls are the bowmen. That's what I'm pretty certain of. So Panthan continuing to sort of steer me down. We can go to 1x speed. Probably a little bit, as I say, a lot less rambling than normal. I'm really trying to sort of examine this as best I can. And again, I swear this felt like it was happening super quick at the time, because I started panicking here. I really started, because I'm seeing him coming all the way around me, and I'm like, oh god, he's going to be everywhere. He gets another little charge in at me. Oh yeah, okay, that was pretty devastating, but I sort of charged through with the wolf riders, deal a little bit of a rinsing back to him, and then he comes forward with his actual charge. So I've got a nice little high ground advantage there. I sort of pursued him off. That was, again, just a mistake on my part. But if I just come forward with everything now. So in my mind, the Armourers of the Hammer. Okay, right, but it's just sheer numbers here. So the Armourers of the Hammer, I'm assuming that this is a fight that they would quite enjoy, because they have AP. You know, everything here is very reliant on armor. But I'm just coming at them with everything I've got over here now. Even some wolves joining the fray. Were they having victory as certain for a second? No, I don't think so. But saying that, I've got my Tormentors. My Tormentors, you know, they're not just my main line guys. They're heavily armored. They have AP themselves with those maces. So perhaps this is just a bit too much. And you can really see the sheer numbers that I'm throwing at him here. I've got legionnaires up there, I've got halberds coming in. I want to deal with this very quickly. But you can see in reaction to the rest of his line, I'm just running away. I'm panicking, I'm flapping. I've sent way too much over here to deal with this little force, and his entire army is coming at me now. Again, he's got these armorers, so I'm guessing they're not, you know, the armorers, they're definitely not like elite units or anything like that. I know that the hammerers, or shoot, Gondolin lore is escaping me, but the hammerers were like this very sort of numerous. I think they were one of the biggest houses. Very much sort of the labourers and the manufacturers of Gondolin. But they're coming in. I'm just going to be shoving them into the legionnaires. Now, I'm assuming, though, even though I'm outnumbering them almost 2-1, this should be a fight that the armourers really enjoy, even with my armour upgrade. Yeah, okay, so I'm suffering defeat there. And right now they don't have any assistance. But again, because of that armour upgrade, and because of their sheer numbers, and let me actually slow down a little bit more. Again, I will miss things. This is not a proper tactical battle overview. This is me focusing in on units. So yeah, these legionnaires, oh god, I mean, they're getting gutted pretty quickly. They're not killing much in response. Getting balanced now, though, interesting. But I'm just expecting them to hold the line for some time. Over here, Ravagers having a much better fight up against those guardsmen of the harp, which is quite nice to see. I mean, this is much closer numbers-wise, but I'm shaken. Okay. And this is kind of, I guess I'm shaking because I'm technically, there's units behind me and they don't really feel like they're getting support there. So this could be, I mean, if he had backstabbed me there, maybe he could have even gotten a little bit of a break. But for now, this seems to be definitely going in my favour fight-wise in that position. Axemen of the Pillar coming crashing into my halberdiers, but again, this should be something I'm pretty happy with. You know, nice AP halberds in an organised front-facing formation like this. Front-facing formation? What the heck is that? But yeah, it should be going okay, which balanced. But as that stabilizes, that should go in my favour. A 1-1 with halberds should almost always be good for me. Over here, what sort of clashes do we have? Again, but you see, I'm shaking again. My morale is just like so unsure, like across the line. Even if I'm winning these fights, you know, victory is almost certain there. Even if I'm winning these fights, it still is like, oh, we don't know. Champions of the Fountain even. So is this because like I've got armor upgrades across the board, you know, and I've got some pretty high quality units. Maybe this is just, you know, this is sort of what I always used to be able to do with Angband anyway. I knew I could trust them to, like, as long as I got fights without getting abused beforehand, I do pretty well. And maybe that sort of is what's happening here. My Troll Guard just hanging out, being resilient. Are those little slingers? I think they do have slingers, don't they? Yeah, the Scouts of the Tree are little slingers, so I'm assuming that's AP. Kind of the same view as what we've got for slingers in Reforged. You know, this idea of like AP, low damage, maybe high ammunition with those boys, so they'll just be grinding away on me. Bulldogs of Angband, I'm assuming that they're going to be able to kick some serious ass across the board, and it does kind of look like what's happening here. Again, this is where I put a massive investment of my forces, so I'm needing to win over here. We've got a little bit of a break there at 38 men, which is kind of a surprise on my, you know, from me. Well, a surprise to me. You see again, Cav play, I've been absolutely roasted. Yeah, so again, Wolf Riders, I need to maybe look and see, like, what are we doing with Wolf Riders? How are people, because I wanted to start with a fight that was done by me, but I do have lots of fights from other people. So I do want to see, like, how do other people use Wolf Riders? How are we, you know, making use of them, basically, yeah, as I say, because, you know, they don't have that anti-cavalry bonus. And yeah, like what are we achieving? But so far they've just been able to keep these Knights of the Golden Flower in check. They've been dying for it, but as long as I keep him from slamming my Arbalists and my Thralls, again targeting those Knights with it, very close range crossbow fire is always a nice way to deal with Knights and so on. So he gets a little charge off on me there, and I do get a little bit, well, actually surprisingly not overly rinsed by that charge. Maybe it just wasn't long range enough. Spear Guard of Angband, Spear Guard of the Iron Crown, getting brought back into the front line. Shouldn't have really done that, but again, not a tactical overview. It just made my throat. I need do I still have some tea? Luckily, I do. Thank goodness. But yeah, okay. So what is he opening up with there? He's got. So wait, no, those aren't. Oh wait, no. What are the javelins from? No, okay, I assumed that these were javelins, but again, these are the Scouts of the Trees, or Scouts of the Tree, with those slings. Not any javelin fire coming at me. Over here, more Spearmen of the Swallow. I was able to just kind of weather the storm of archer fire. I wasn't really seeing my guys dropping, but again, I'm assuming that's probably just because of the investment that I made into my armor values across the board. I've moved in some Spear Guard here as well, just to provide a little bit more rigidity to this line. And over here, what do we have? What are these golden boys? The Lords of the Golden Flower. So I'm seeing him thinking this is the bodyguard unit. That are, yeah, I mean, kind of rinsing some of my boys, but again, just the numbers and the armor, hopefully keeping my guys alive long enough for them to get support from elsewhere. Yeah, because I mean, this should be lovely. They're getting those slinger shots into my right side there, just right into this blob. So, you know, these guys are ignoring my armor. Well, they're ignoring, sorry, not all of it. Maybe they're ignoring half of my armor if they are armor piercing, or they're ignoring my shield value entirely. But I'm just resilient. Again, you know, I think this is maybe just, I'm assuming, like showing Angband as Angband are. You know, they are just this powerhouse of not a defense, of rigidity, kind of. Especially maybe had I not gone so deep into armor upgrades across the board, maybe had I tried to go more just mass numbers approach, or we had played, this was with 15,000 and 15,000 funds. So, which I'm assuming is the normal. I know we usually on Reforged it's 13k to 13k, whereas here I think it's maybe a little bit more. You see, again, I'm just I've got some good victories over here. My trolls are just they've not been going down too quick. Even the whole time, they've been in amongst those armorers off the hammer, which I would have assumed would maybe do some damage pretty quick. So hopefully over the other battles that we're watching, you know, we're going to see how trolls do get taken down, because that's something that will spook me a bit. If I do go toe to toe with some trolls, how am I dropping them? You know, is it just the case of even though the armorers do have that armor piercing value, which I keep saying they do, maybe it's possible they don't. You know, is this something else? Now, what I will be doing, of course, I'll be going through these armies and actually checking the stats. But what these videos are for is just for me to kind of get an initial grasp of it. Something I was really surprised about during this fight was kind of how long it took these spearmen of the Swallow to go down. I was always going to win this fight, but they've been fighting here for ages, and you can see some dead wolves there, because I've actually been coming in for cycle charges. He must be in Skeltrum then. Can they do Skeltrum? Because I was assuming that he was facing me. But I guess with Skeltrum, he's just been able to shunt it away. He's wanting to go for that kill. There's actually one of the unit actually was pursuing me and jabbing away. But again, using that elven speed to just slip out and escape me. Very nice. But they're very, you know, the amount of time that we were fighting them there, and how few casualties I actually inflicted. I know, again, the Legionnaires are not built to just kill very, very quickly. They're built to hold the line and so on. Scouts of the Tree now being thrown on to melee. Oh, they've got maces, so I'm assuming maybe they're AP in melee as well. Maybe not a very high attack value, it's quite a little slender mace, but again, it's probably what you need up against my forces. Lords of the Golden Flower, so since we last looked at them, yeah, this is the same unit, is it? Or, pretty sure that's the same unit off them. They've barely taken any casualties. So, I am assuming, yeah, multiple hit points, of course, bodyguard unit. But, we've just been able to keep them in check, again, just with my heavy armoured units. So that should be it. As I say, so these fights, some of them, I'm not sure a lot of them how they'll go. Some of them will not be super duper close, of course, but again, it's just for me to get a sight on these individual engagements and so on. Hopefully, there's still some entertaining fights in there, but I've really just grabbed all of the ones that have been posted in the past month, all of the ones from October that were posted in the battle replays. I've just grabbed them all, just so that I can get a good idea. And hey, you know, once again, thank you to Panthan. He's the one guy that's been posting in there. Oh no, sorry, there was one from somebody else, but I'm not actually I don't think I'll use that one, because it was a big 3v3. I might do that, but I'll need to check to see if they've sent it somewhere else, or if there's anything special with that, because I asked Panthan for permission to run through all of these videos, so or run through all of these replays, and he's been very good and let me do that. And over here, yeah, just the last grind. And you can still see my troll guard still just kicking. Like, 7 of them. So obviously, like, they've been taking some casualties. They're probably pretty damn low. Oh yeah, another one just dropped there. Oh shoot, I need a thumbnail. Shoot. We'll go for that, so maybe. You got the Lords of the Golden Flower just hacking into my boys. Yeah, they do look great. And that's something I will be trying to check out these models, because I need to be able to recognize them very quickly, of course. It's gotten to the point. Is this the general there? Does he have a blade in his offhand? I like that. I quite like that vibe. Oh, is that, wait, is that broken? No, that's a scepter. Oh shoot, yeah, that's like shoot, it's a special Gondolin thing. But yeah, sorry about that. I'm not. I need to get my Silmarillion lore back in check as well. I'm a little bit outdated with that. So those knights are still active, and he's killed all of my wolves. So you see, he's coming with a little charge. I'm assuming maybe the Knights of the Golden Flower, they don't have like a monster charge. Yeah, because I mean, trolls, of course, they have an anti-cavalry bonus. am I meant to say countering cav? If I'm up against a heavy cav force, would I be better off trying to do the Wolf Rider Troll strategy? Is that how people are countering cavalry? Now, of course, we can counter cavalry with our spear guard and our crossbowmen, but I always like to have something that can actually grab them. So, are you meant to maybe grab them with the wolves and then get the trolls in there? What is the go-to strategy for dealing with these trolls? And that's the last few of them getting dropped now. Now, I said this to Panthan at the time. I had no right to win this. I really, like, the way that he had gone all the way around me, the way that I was panicking. I was talking with Panthan a bit, and yeah, he was regretting not coming in a little bit sooner. And I think maybe that was the case. You know, there was a... because I sort of clashed here, and I was able to put in so many resources and start cleansing that. Whereas had he sort of just rattled around me straight away and come in really hard, really fast, I think that could have been absolutely devastating for me. So again, I don't think I actually had a look during the fight. What was it that was killing for me? So you see, I mean, I was suffered some nasty losses across the board, but bulldogs there, not actually racking up monster kills, but like surviving. And they were fighting in such a dense area that, okay, the trolls were, okay. I mean, this is interesting. So 15 losses for 64 kills. To be absolutely honest, like, I'd be, if that happened to me in another fight, I would feel a bit like, oh damn, maybe that wasn't so effective. I was feeling that the trolls were absolutely wrecking shop, but maybe they weren't. And you see my wolf riders, yeah, just get rinsed a bit. Okay, interesting. My ranged power, those arbalists were firing pretty constantly there, and again, not actually racking up amazing kills. It looks like it was my halberdiers generally, and my tormentors too, and some ravagers. Okay, so it looks like it was kind of my infantry that, for the most part, won that there. And just a little bit of support, but maybe a balanced sort of win overall. Yeah. Anyway, cool. So we'll be jumping in, as I say, hopefully the next week, maybe a little bit more, as I say, we should just get a Silmarillion video every day. Just alongside the Reforge, alongside my other content. I just want to get these put out, see what people are thinking, and hopefully, as I say, learn Sil a little bit more. Okay, thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one.